Live from the Bodacious Cretaceous, from before the dawn of time, or even the internet. Found in a jar in the ruins of Nag Hammadi, we bring you the collected writings of the Pterodactyl. Now let's see what the old bird has written for us tonight.
BBC Two presents Philosophy's Short Course in association with the University of Nottingham and Studio 5.
From the high desert above Alamogordo, New Mexico, we now take you to Studio 5. Studio 5, Studio 5, Studio 5, Studio 5. Good evening, and welcome back to Studio 5. This is a short philosophical course called The Impossibility of Love and Hell. Imagine that you live in a society where you must stand before a judge at age 45. You find yourself taken to a barren plain where you stand looking up at a tall black granite wall 100 feet in height. At the top of the wall is a single judge. This judge has access to every detail of your life in photographic precision from the very moment of your birth. The judge will see and hear every lie you told, and the times you stole candy from the dime store, and the times you talked back to your parents, and of course the times that you let the wrong person touch your underpants. All of these things, of course, you were told never to do. It was made quite clear to you that this would upset the judge. So now you stand alone in front of the wall. To the side is a team of black-hooded torturers standing behind a wide table of gleaming metal instruments. You can just make out scalpels, saws, and hooks of various sorts, and the glow of hot pokers on the hibachi. Next to the torturers is a team of doctors, whose job it is to keep you alive such that you could be tortured for as long as possible. Rumor has it that the doctors are very good, and some people have lasted 20 years. After waiting 6 hours in front of the wall, bright lights flare from above. They all converge upon you. You can now see nothing outside the glare. Over a booming public address system, you hear the judge read out your name. The judge will now pronounce whether you have been found morally wanting or not. If you've been found morally acceptable, you'll be sent to a lovely resort in Bali for the rest of your life. Mai Tais on the house. Or if you've been found morally wanting, you will be turned over to the torturers. There is no appeal. The question is, what would you honestly feel about this judge? Oh, I really love this judge. He is my friend and teacher. And what would be the character of this relationship? What chance would there be for you to be yourself in the light of this coming judgment? So the next question is, how is this not the exact situation into which Christianity places the human being? Note that I'm not saying that either a hell or a God exists. My point is simply that if you actually accept the idea of hell and a God who will judge you, your relationship to the deity cannot be other than one of fear and loathing. You cannot simultaneously love and be in utter terror regarding the same thing. Love and fear cannot coexist. This is not how we function as human beings. So Christianity demands that we love with all our hearts the very being which may see fit to send us to unspeakable torture. Christianity has in fact developed workarounds for this intolerable psychological bind. The main workaround is the idea that by being a good Christian, you will end up amongst the saved, the elect who are not going to hell. But this is problematical. At many points in the Bible, it says only 144,000 will be saved. Given a world population of 8 billion people, this leaves you a 1 in 55,000 chance of making the grade. I would be considering some good sunblock at this point. It's likely to get hot. And the being a good Christian strategy still falls short psychologically. No matter how many times you tell yourself that you are among the elect, how can you ever be really certain that you've been a good enough Christian? The other workaround is simply to refuse to consider the issue. But even when denied, this psychological conflict leads to a kind of paranoia and deep anger. You can really hear it when televangelists pound their chest regarding their own virtue. They make a big show of how much Jesus loves them and how much it's going to hurt when Jesus smashes you. But this sounds like whistling past the graveyard to my ears. And this virtue signaling crosses over a line into what I would call torture pornography. Virtually all of the church fathers, from Tertullian to Augustine to Aquinas, claim that one of the exalted joys in heaven will be listening to the shrieks of the damned. Here's what Thomas Boston, an 18th century Scottish preacher, had to say on the subject. Quote, "God shall not pity them, but laugh at their calamity. The righteous company in heaven shall rejoice in the execution of God's judgment, and shall sing while the smoke riseth up forever." Unquote. So there you are in heaven with your significant other, having a glass of Sauvignon Blanc with filet of sole grilled to perfection. Dear, aren't the screams of the damned lovely tonight? So much better than that old string quartet. Yes, dear, and wasn't the smell of burning flesh simply a divine aperitif? Again, I'm not arguing that there is or is not a God. As an aside, I will say, however, that a universe that can go from a cloud of hot hydrogen to Mozart needs something beyond a strictly mechanical explanation. But rather, I'm arguing that if you're going to have a God, at least pick one that does not hire torturers or demand love whilst holding a pistol to your head. Thank you. So we're going to head downtown here in Alamogordo and go down to the Arabesque Cafe. And on Tuesday nights they have open mic. Sometimes I can get in there and do a reading, so why don't you follow along?
Well, here I am again at my little table in front of this miserable cafe. Well, they pay me to take the money. If you wish to go in, do you see the door? There it is. If you wish to go in, you must put the money in this box here. This little box. Right here. This one, yes. And then you can go into the cafe there. But I would like to have a word with you before you go in. I was the doorman for 25 years at the great opera house in Ankara. And every night from the door I would hear genius, art. And when that woman, do you see, when that woman speaks, what I hear coming out the door is crap, is complete crap. It makes me so angry. I spill my coffee. I don't know. I've told my head.
Thanks for coming down to the Arabesque Cafe. The good folks here are letting me do a couple of short readings. The first one is called If I Had a Chihuahua. If I had a chihuahua, I would name him Jesus, and I would put him in my head, and he would curl up in my brain pan and look out through my eye sockets. And then finally, at long last, I would know just exactly what to bark at. And this second piece is called American Plain Song. It's a Christ-drunk, gun-punk, budget sunk, Vietnam rudder gone, wheel broke, watch out for rockets, 3-ring, meth clown, diazepine, spin down. It's a Wall Street, walled-off, pocket-picked, bone dog, kitchen match, stick figure, oil slick, slow-burning conflagration. It's a pope-raped, shaved ape, sex for rent, no monkeys in the tent, Eve jailed, wholesaled, double-bound, triple-screwed Titanic going down by the bow, head fuck. And it's a Three Stooges, Fourth Reich, devils on a motorbike, 21 whiskey shots, salute the money, like it or not, tires squealing, hit the ceiling, bug-eyed bus tour, pray your rosary, e-ticket, ride to Armageddon. And it's a 747 in a dead stick stall, a smoking hole in the downtown mall. Get the blue light special as the bodies fall and heaven waits through a hole in the roof. Clean your glass eye if you need the proof that the real miracle in the TV spoof is that anybody really thinks this passes for civilization. Thank you. And good night.